don't know if you can hear it, but I feel like I'm in an episode of The Birds. There's so many of them around. It's definitely migrating season. And they're all Twitter mated. Hi, welcome to Fresh Air Bookworm. We've got a beautiful day out for you today. It's kind of hard to tell. It was snowing a lot more this morning, so it's calmed down a little bit since then, so that's nice. Can't complain. Just out at the family farm, so thought I'd go for a walk in the marsh in our field. And there's a nice, we call it the backwater. It's nice. It used to be very small. Now it's very big. It's grown since I was a kid, so that's cool. We're going to talk about some books, my April wrap-up. This month I read 7 books. Yeah, 7 books. So I'll go over them. Some of them won't be in so much detail because they're going to be part of other series, but yeah, I'll talk about them a little bit all while we're getting some fresh air. So my first book I read in April was Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. I gave it 3 stars. It was a good book. It wasn't my favorite, but I did enjoy like the twist of what religion she's part of. Yeah, I won't say too much of it, but it was fun to be surprised about it because I didn't look up too much about it. Yeah, the main character, she was great. She was fun. The reason it's 3 stars is I just thought there should be a bit more. For me, it didn't really fit the horror category. There were some parts that were a little bit queasy, like the bathroom scene or whatever, and the teeth scene. Those were a little bit gory, but not like, I don't know. I think it fits more in the thriller category than a horror for my tasting, but it was fun enough. I was expecting more from the end. It wasn't quite what I was hoping for the ending, but besides that, it was a fun read. Yeah. Second book I read in April was A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. I gave it 4 stars. It was a fun read. It was a fun journey. It's about this woman, Veronica, who after her last guardian, her aunt, passes away, she ends up going on a journey with this German baron, and during this he leaves her for a bit with this grumpy natural historian called Stoker, and while she's with them, the baron is killed, so they are then on the run from the people that killed this baron because they're after her now. And it's just a fun ride. There's the main character, Veronica. She's really fun. She's super smart, very intelligent. She's a butterfly specialist, so she has lots of good things to say. It's really fun to hear her story, her perspective of things. And then the other main character, Stoker, he's just like this grumpy man, like in the life. And it's just fun to watch him try to keep up with Veronica and her shenanigans. Yeah, it's a fun read. I'm excited. There's like 7 books, I think, in this series, so it should be fun. I'm excited. I've heard it's a good series, so I'm excited to delve into that one. We'll see how it goes. The third book I read in April was Immortality, a love story by Dana Schwartz. I read the first one in February. Can you see them? Okay, they're there. I read the first one back in February, so yeah, I like that one. It For the second one, Immortality, I actually enjoyed the first one more, which I think maybe lots of people also feel that way, but that's how I felt. Uh, it picks up where the first one ended with Hazel losing Jack, and so she's dealing with, oh, is he coming back? All that. So she does a lot of moping through this one, which at first I was like, okay, yeah, that sucks, but it got a little bit annoying after a little while, but not horrible. Not horrible. It was still fun. I really like this time period in like the 1800s again. She's still trying to become a surgeon in a world where there's only male surgeons, so she's got to really do her part. She's trying to treat these people and with a lack of knowledge, like professional knowledge. So it's it's still fun in that sense where she's trying to figure out how to do that. Um, but in this one, they take her out of Scotland. She gets summoned by the royals to go and help with determining what's wrong with the princess, who has a mysterious illness and won't refuses to see anybody. So she gets summoned to go help with that. And like it was cool for a little bit, the different change of scenery, but I feel like we lost a bit with what we got in the first one. The stakes weren't that high, it felt like. So that if there were higher stakes, maybe I would have enjoyed it more. I don't know. But yeah, that first one was definitely more enjoyable this one, but it was still fun. Like it was still I would maybe pick up the series again. So the next book I read in April was Our On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. This one was I won't talk too much about this one. I I gave it a 3 stars, but I don't know if I was in the best state of mind to read this one at this time. When I was reading it, there was a lot going on at home, so I don't know. I don't know if that influenced my decision with it. So I think it deserves a reread. It's like a poetic narrative of a son that's writing a letter to his mom who can't read, and just talking about how like his view of growing up in Vietnam and immigrating to America. Uh, it is beautifully written. It delves a lot into a lot of areas, including like immigration, mental illness, abuse, drug use, addiction. So there's a lot that gets covered in very um, it's a lot gets covered with a lot of detail. Like there's no skipping out on the details on this. So he gets to the raw form of it. And like it is beautifully written. I would like to try and read it again at a different point, but as of right now 3 stars, but we'll see what happens in the future. Well, I don't know if you can see it. There's swans on the creek. I've never seen swans out here before. That's cool. I disturbed them. That was not my intention, but it was still cool to see. Okay, so the second last book I read in April was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. My only 5-star this month, which is quite crazy compared to last month where I only had one that wasn't a 5-star. So this month was a little bit different. We'll see what next month brings. But anyways, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, what a fantastic read. It was definitely not what I expected. It really exceeded my expectations. I wasn't thinking that we were going to go the way that we did, but it was enjoyable. It was a fun ride, and I couldn't put it down. Or I mean, I couldn't stop listening to it. I was listening to it on audiobook, which was great. I really enjoyed that because they had different characters with the different voices, which is something I really like in audiobooks. I get really drawn into that, so it was a great listen. I really enjoyed it. It's about these two characters, Sam and Sadie, who they met when they were younger and they bonded over video games. And then when years pass and they hadn't seen each other for years and years, and they just randomly meet each other on the subway, this re-sparks their relationship and their friendship, and they decide that they want to make a video game together. So they develop a video game, and the story just follows the highs and lows of friendship throughout life, and it was really good. It was really good because it doesn't really focus on romantic relationships, but it focuses on this friendship that they really like. They hit every roller coaster, and it was unexpected. I wasn't expecting it to be that way. It was a fun surprise. I wasn't expecting to feel so heartbroken during it. I was at work and I had it playing, and I just wanted something that I'm like, oh yeah, just for fun, have it in my ears. And then I was listening to this, and then there was a part where I was like, I might cry. I don't want to cry at work. I might cry. So that was unexpected, but still fun read. I really enjoyed it. Definitely will be reading it again. Yeah, it's a good one. Pick it up. So now things are getting a bit more snowy. I'm gonna head back to the house, but I'll talk about my last 2 books while I'm heading back. So the other book that this was actually the second last book that I read. The other one was third last, but this one, second last, was Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I gave it 3 stars. It was a fun read. It was cute. It was like, it's a good one to put on when you just want it in the background. You just want something to kind of cleanse your brain a little bit. So this was one of them. It was a fun read. It's about a meteorologist, Ari. It's very fitting, the weather that we have today. This is the kind of weather that she loves. So very fitting that I read it. I'll only talk a little bit about it just because I'm planning on doing a springtime reads video, and so I'll go into more detail there. But yeah, it was a fun read, fun characters. Ari and her co-worker Russell, they make plans that they want to parent trap their bosses who used to be married to each other and now are divorced and kind of causing turmoil in the office. So they decide they want to parent trap them. So it's a fun read. It was fun. Okay. So last book that I read in April was The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. It's my second Olivia Blake book that I've read this year. I read Alone in the Ether a while back. I actually preferred Alone in the Ether more. This one was still good. It was still good, but the other one just like sneaks by just a wee bit, just an inch. So this one is about 6 people that they get accepted into a challenge. I guess every decade, this secret magical society picks 6 people to battle it out, and only 5 of them can actually enter into the society. So that it follows these 6 characters, each with their own magical powers, and they try to see who's the best of the best, essentially. And it was good. I really enjoyed the character building in it. My favorite was Parisa. She was my favorite character. May not be everybody's favorite, but for me, she was my favorite. She felt there was a lot more depth from her. She felt more complex. Every time I was kind of just waiting for the next time it would be her turn to tell the story. So she was definitely a top one. Raina, sometimes I forget about her. She was kind of forgettable for me. She was kind of like, always, just seemed kind of grouchy. So she wasn't my favorite. And everybody else was kind of like mid, like in terms of the characters. But Parisa, top notch. I really enjoyed the writing. It was really good. Loved the characters. I think what holds this book back for me from being a 5-star is the story. I think in terms of like just the story, not a whole lot happened. Like, I actually forgot that they spent a year at this place challenging each other. So there wasn't a whole lot to build off of. It was more of a, like, if you're looking for a character story, this is a good one. But if you're looking for more story, maybe not this one for you. Who knows? You might like it. I am excited to check out the rest of the series. I think there's 3 books in this series, so I'll definitely be checking them out. Interested to see where the story goes now that the challenge is over. Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see. Some morning calls. So that was April reads. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming out on this nice warm day. This is your reminder to go outside, breathe in some fresh air, whatever that looks like for you. And don't forget to pick up a book. Support your local library if you can, or your local bookstore. Those are also great. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.